So far, it's going on well. I remember when we started off before the primaries, there are a lot of people that took it for granted. They said, "Oh, that's it. Here, this is media and entertainment." We stayed focused. We won the primaries. After the primaries, I remember in all my interviews, I said to them that if they think that we came for jokes, or we came back, if they think that we only just came to add up to the numbers, they will have a campaign of their lives. And truthfully, going to the constituency today, look at what the MP is doing. He's never run a campaign like he's running it now. What does that tell you? He's gasping for breath. The message of change is getting to the ground. The young people can't wait to be enabled to get jobs. The women in the constituency can't wait to be enabled to create a sustainable livelihood for themselves. And this is the message that is going down in the constituency now.
Generally, the wind of change is blowing.
Yes, it is.
The entire country, the wind of change is blowing. Now there's going to be a bit of a there's going to be an interactive plan among others. This is the campaign launch of the party. What does it mean to you after the party?
Well, it means a lot of things to me. First and foremost, I'm excited that the campaign launch has been organized in Tamale. Tamale has been traditionally a green seat for a long time. But at a point in time, we know some of the changes that have happened. But I'm glad when I see the numbers, when I see the attitude, when I see the excitement in the atmosphere. What this tells me is that Northern region is going back to its traditional green status. And that's one of the things that I'm excited about. Most importantly for me, I'm excited that this event is going to kickstart the first few activities. Already, I know the campaign in the various constituencies and the various branches or the electoral areas or wards are being done. But this will signal our much readiness, our preparedness for elections 2024. Most importantly, our preparedness to be the government that will take over, the incoming government of Ghana from January 2025.
And the performance for the campaign, you look at the team for the event, saying stories like Ghana.
Right.
That's a very hard thing.
Very.
And if they go out and around the country, what are people are calling for this thing?
Right.
But apart from the change, they need to reset the country.
Exactly.
And that's what the former president is talking
Yes.
about. In the next 4 years, and the NDC to restore hope for the movement.
I'm more than confident about the leader and the flag bearer. I'm confident in the leader and the flag bearer of the NDC. His Excellency Mahama. A lot of the things that he's saying or he's promising that we are going to do when we come into government are things that he started to lay the ground, the foundation of when he became president for just 4 years. When he came into my constituency, for instance, there's almost like a blueprint across various different sectors. And all what these guys have done is to not pay attention to it or to not pursue the blueprint in the ways that His Excellency Mahama has said it. And so what we're saying to the people is that when we come back, the same blueprint that we had, we're coming to execute it. But most importantly, because of the level of wickedness, because of the levels of corruption, because of the impact on the economy, there's got to be a major work that we have to do to ensure to reset the economy very well to be able to do some of these things. My constituency benefited from 3 major school buildings within the constituency. It benefited from a chief's compound from Tamale, Mahama. It benefited from roads from Tamale, Mahama. It benefited from plans for market, hospitals, a lot of things. In the last 8 years within my constituency, we've not seen that. Despite the much touted one district, 1 million, whatever, we've not seen development in the ways that we expect under Tamale, Mahama. Again, beyond that, in various different sectors, when you look at what His Excellency Tamale Mahama has been able to do in health, in education, in the economy, in the various different elements of the economy, I am more than confident in the abilities of the NDC to be able to reset the country and then push it forward and turn our fortunes around. In fact, if you're looking for the party that actually has the men, it is the NDC. The party that actually has the men to actually put the country on the right path is the NDC. We've shown and proven it in the past, and this time around, we are more than ready to show and prove one more time that the NDC is a party that has got a superior ideas, is a party that has got the most proven concept and ideas in terms of how to grow the country and how to enable the people of the country.
Well, thank you and welcome to Tamale. You have been campaigning around the country, especially in your constituency. To govern effectively, you require an absolute majority, right? Having to do with your policies by every candidate, do you see an absolute majority for the NDC?
Yes, I do see. Let me start from the northern regions second. I was just telling one media house that I am more than confident that this time around, apart from the seats that we hold in urban northern region, for instance, we will go back to pick up some seats. I mean, the Tolo seat, for instance, is coming back to is going back to Green. Bushewu will go back to Green. I'm more than confident that Karaga will go back to Green. This among apart from the other seats we have, if this comes to add to the existing seat that we currently have, if all other regions are fighting to actually get a lot more seats, then we will get the majority they were looking for. In my case, we are going to deliver the Kaiko Central constituency. Myself, the party of Kaiko Central, the masses and the sympathizers of the NDC, the people of Kaiko Central are more than ready to ensure that for the first time in almost 30 years, we're going to win the Kaiko Central. If we win that, and we add that to the Kaiko South, which is also going to become green, to Kaiko North, which is also going to become green, among all the other systems we're going to win in Greater Accra region, for instance, we will have absolute majority in quality. And that's one of the things we're campaigning on.
One other thing has to do with the running mate presidential candidate. Governor Mahama has selected Professor Nanaji Okoye as the running mate. She is a woman, and she's also coming as the new person. Now, the first time the Labour Political Party or the NDC is coming out with a woman as the presidential candidate. If she succeeds to become the vice president of the Republic, what do you think that her effect will have on the women of the country?
Firstly, we need to recognize that that's one party that puts a lot of pressure on inclusion and representation in the NDC. We've done it in times past by ensuring that the masses or people that are within the low levels of society are involved in participating in democracy. That's point one. Point two is that we are also signaling a different and a different direction now, but ensuring that women secure seats at the highest decision-making table. And we've got not less than a woman, that a very accomplished academic in the name of Professor Jenana. We've seen how, as a first female VC of University of Cape Coast, we've seen her achievements. It's things that we can actually point to. Beyond that, we've seen her achievements as the education minister. We've seen a number of firsts she's done. I'm more than confident that this or her role as a vice president will have to add up to the whole list of firsts that she's achieved as the most effective, the most competent vice president we're going to see in a lot of years.
Alright, so the former president of Brazil is talking about establishment of a women's bank, women's bank.
Right.
It's a policy that is targeted at women.
Women traders.
Now, look at the affirmative action bill that has been in Parliament for a very long time and hasn't seen the light of day. Is this another form of an affirmative action within the NDC?
Yes, of course it is, like I indicated. Our choice of the Nana signaled a different directive in participating politics in the country. Of course, it underscored our resolve to ensure that women are fairly and duly represented. And so, among that, as part of that bigger plan to ensure that women are fairly represented and inclusion is executed in a very good manner, the National Women Grant was led. And Professor Tenda now is more than ready to drive that particular agenda to ensure that women and ensuring that the sustainable livelihoods of women is a priority for the government of Ghana. She's going to drive that and ensure that already, this came on the back of a feedback that we see from women. There are a lot of women traders in the country. There are a lot of women that are engaged in petty businesses in the country. Their biggest issue has always been that initial capital or a small capital that will support them and help them to be able to turn their businesses, turn their fortunes around. And this is something that will be turned around and turned into the National Women's Bank. This is something that we think that will better the lot of women in the country. It's something that we think that it will add up to the tall list of, like I indicated, a list of first things that the Ghana is going to lead and ensure that it happens in the country. But I also have to ask Lassie, who's a lawyer and part of the legal team, maybe she will probably have some more things to add to the concept of the National Women's Bank and the choice of.
As we can see the euphoria here, I think that the women outnumber even the men on this ground this morning. So that goes to show that the policy that the NDC has introduced, I've seen a lot of women selling here, a lot of market women here, selling ice water, pure water, and what have you. This goes to show that the people have bought into our 1 million women, the loans that are going to be provided for them through the Women's Bank. And as you know, for women, it is difficult for us to raise certain securities to secure loans. And what we are saying, as far as this particular Women's Bank is concerned, is that you are going to give loans to women at a very reduced rate. Me, I am a lawyer. I am into commercial litigation, and I can tell you it is very difficult to secure loans. When you are securing loans, the properties that you need to use to secure these loans, most of the time, it is men who have their names on these documentations. So it becomes very difficult for women to have some of these securities to secure loans. So what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Professor Jena Anokwajman are saying about this women's bank policy is that, look, we have studied the system and we know, comparing same with how we are as a people and what happens, within our system, we are going to introduce this bank so that women can have a very relaxed system of taking loans, taking away the, rigid system of security. And this one, we know that when it comes to marketing, we do the best. We the women are the best. Like I was telling you earlier, when you look here, all the people who are doing petty trading here are women. How many of them have, fixed security to take loans from the banks? And so I think that the women, the numbers of the women we have here, both to show or to explain or to tell that the women have got into this idea of the women's bank, and the loans that will be given to more than 1 million women, and it's laudable. And I think that I'm using this opportunity to call on all women across the country to buy into this. It may not be you. I am a lawyer today, but I have people in my home who are into petty trading, who are into businesses, and may not be able to raise, fixed securities to take this. So I think it's a very laudable policy, and it is evident. The numbers here, the women's numbers here, it's very evident that they have got right.
You mentioned petty trading. President Mahama has been building markets across the country when he was president. These markets are being patronized by the women. The growths are not good. That's the produce who come from who we cut from the farms through to these markets for the women to benefit from. What new policy does the president of the NDC has in order to facilitate trade between agriculture and commerce at the market level?
I am very happy and glad that you made mention of the fact that roads are a challenge. You would realize that in 2016, His Excellency, the period from 2012 to 2016, he embarked on a very aggressive infrastructure development, including roads. And if you remember, at the time, the song that our compatriots from the other side were singing was that it is not infrastructure that people are going to eat. Roads are not going to put food on their table. You see, it is simple. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is not a new person in the system. We have seen the infrastructural projects and developments that he aggressively undertook. Given the opportunity, had he had the opportunity to win 2016 elections, you and I may not be singing this song this morning. So all it is that we should give him the vote. He's done it before. He's not new when it comes to infrastructure. And that is on the table because, of course, you cannot speak of market or commerce independence or freedom without putting, in place the very basic things that ensure that these things, are attained. You understand? So that policy, in fact, when it comes to the marketing, the market women and what have you, His Excellency has taken note. And just like he started infrastructural development in 2016, he's going back to continue from where he ended from.
Finally, before you leave us, you are a woman, you are a lawyer. I'm sure you have read the anti-witchcraft bill that was passed by Parliament and the President refused to assent to it. What do you have to say?
It is very pathetic. it is very sad that in how far we have come as a people, we still have some of these practices in our community. The best thing that would happen to us are wills, laws that help enhance our living as a people. So this anti-witchcraft bill, between you and I, not even just being a woman, you being a man should be concerned because you have sisters, you have mothers, you have aunties, you have friends, you may even have a wife who is a woman. And at the end of the day, if some of these things are used against women, it doesn't help you and I and our society. I am calling on the president, just as he has refused or all actions, and all his actions are showing that there are certain laws or bills that he doesn't want to assent to. I am using this platform to appeal to him to sign or assent to this bill to liberate our women. The women from Yagambaga with campus, we've seen the limitations and all the challenges that have been brought on these women because of some of these practices. So I would just plead with him and call on him to sign the bill so that we can have our women, secure their freedom as well as some of these policies.
We are very grateful for your time.
That is good.
Right, thank you for joining us, Richard. So let me talk to you first. Let's go. Your members were rendered jobless when the arbitrary cancellation of quotas was announced after the reading of the 2020 budget by the finance minister. What has that brought to your members?
Unbearable hardships, loss of families. Some members have even died as a result of that reckless and useless decision to cancel the toll, in this country. And that policy was taken by Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. He was the head of the economic management team when the decision was taken to cancel the toll in our country. And the vice president said, we don't need to borrow. We needed only to toll this country and we can build all the roads. He came into power, go and read the budget, and rendered a teeming number of persons with disabilities jobless. That is why you can see them here in their numbers. We have about 1,000 persons with disabilities that have come here in this center to throw their weight behind His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to be elected President of the Republic of Ghana. So you can see some of them around who are here to support. I'm sure you'll be speaking with some of them to understand why they are here. But basically, they cannot make ends meet. Many of the people living with disabilities in our country are below the poverty line. And so when jobs were given to them, we thought they would help their situation. Unfortunately, His Excellency Bawumia, as head of the economic management team, decided to cut the tolls in this country without even recourse to Parliament, causing unbearable hardship to our people. That is why, in their numbers throughout the country, they are throwing their weight behind the NDC.
Right, before that decision was made and that cancellation of road tolls was done, you were collecting road tolls for the government and contributing to the road fund. Do you have an idea how much money you contributed to this country's economy in a month of approximately a year?
Every year, we contribute not less than 2 billion Ghana cedis to the road toll. And that is what we are contributing. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia decided to substitute that with the e-levy. Populist policy, trying to just do propaganda. And when the e-levy came, they said the e-levy was the solution of everything. If you talk about feeding, they said the e-levy. If you talk about welfare, IMF, they said we bring the e-levy, we're not going to IMF. They said we bring the e-levy, we'll get beautiful women to even marry. In fact, the e-levy was one of the reasons why the toll was cancelled. And that has brought unbearable hardship. My brother, we have members that have died. A lot of people have died, lost their lives as a result of the cancellation of the toll. Families have broken up, women have left their husbands, husbands have left their wives because of this e-levy. Children have dropped out of school and people have even died. And so the souls of those people who have died are crying against the Bawumia, saying that never again shall we have this calm man as our president. Never again shall we have this 419 guy as our president. The vice president is good at nothing. The only thing he's good at doing is to go around the northern Ghana deceiving the people of this country. And so here
We are calling on the people of this north to reject the NDC. They should reject Dr. Bawumia. Let me say this. The single most important investment for loading Ghana that would have helped us was the purpose dam. I am a northerner, as my name was suggest, I don't go as a cop. He went to Assemble and lied to the good of this country that the multi-purpose dam had been constructed or was under construction. And that is a lie. You and I know when the rains happened somewhere around August, many of our Nordic compatriots will be displaced. So please, you need to reject Dr. Bawumia. If you are Northern today, you need to understand that every major development that happened in Northern Ghana happened under the regime of the NDC. We brought electricity to North, we brought quality roads to the North, we built universities in the North, we built major hospitals, the Tamale Teaching Hospital, the World Regional Hospital, the hospital in Boga. You know, we have done so much infrastructure. The only infrastructure the LBB can boast of is the motors that we bought. We bought motor bicycles to the Tamale Development Project, and they shared the motor bicycle among their people, stole the motor inflated. So people of Northern Ghana should reject Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in no uncertain terms.
All right, so that's a very strong message that you have sent, that the people of Northern Ghana should reject Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and so for John Dramani Mahama. Thank you so much.
John Dramani Mahama has appointed Adongo as a deputy CEO for youth employment of person with disabilities. So we understand the concept, we understand the economy, and I think that he has made a very reasonable contribution as person with disability, as what they are going, person with disability, as what they are going on as a state of the economy today. That's why the President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC has labeled, has tabled all the sector of economy we are going to run. What do we say? What do we emphatically say? We are saying that we are building a Ghana we want together. And in building a Ghana we want together, we need an inclusive government. We need everybody on board, including you, including anybody. That's why we are building a Ghana we want together. That is why we have labeled, stabled all our policies and programs, and I think Ghanaians are buying into it. We are saying it's simple. The person with disability who is visually impaired has stabled to you that even in the sector of economy, where equality of the person with disability has given a grade of survival, was delinked. And as a result of that, some people lost their life, which is very possible. I had a discussion with President John Dramani yesterday before I moved to Accra. He was so worried about the northern region. He was worried as to how the Eastern Corridor Road has been. He was worried as to how he has to build more of the universities, and that we in the NDC have invested in the educational sector that have been diverse, that have not been united, that have not been out front in the educational sector. So the NDC and the President John Dramani Mahama is bringing a very simple policy. And it's good to note, you know, the amazing thing is that President John Dramani Mahama will be here by 12:30 to 1 o'clock to run the campaign. It's a simple message. We are saying that we are the MPP in 8 years. What do you have for us? And the question was that before they came, I know, be honest. We are saying we were confused at the poll and Genesis thing because there was one factory, one village, one dam, one boy, one girl, one person, one account. Everything was there in the economy, but it didn't work out. But it's so President John Dramani Mahama is telling you that look, it is true. The MPP and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has come to rule this nation, and it's been a disaster. It's a reality. Let us stop all this. It's a reality that Kenyans have after a stack of our state economy, basic needs. I think you read a Maslow's theory. Basic needs, food, water, accommodation, work permits. Where do you come from? What this way? Did you see a factory? It is your $1 million, $8 million come to your constituency. I'm being honest. Your $8 million come to your constituency. It is your $1 million that come to your constituency for education purposes. This is the problem. So President John Dramani Mahama is telling you that look, it is simple. He's been a president with experience. The MPP came with no policy, very hollow. The most holiest person I've seen is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. You know why I said that? We asked,
as economic management team, what is your policy? Your policy is that I have mobile phones for 2 cities. Your yeah, that's the policy for him. That you give me a mobile phone for me to pay for 6 years. That's your policy. Your policy is that the NDC is going to do Kokobo Kete, and that you don't agree with that, it's vote for you for corruption. Your policy is that the NDC, President John Dramani Mahama, 4 years, and for that matter, was a vote for you. President John Dramani Mahama is telling you, are you not happy to hear this? Do you want to hear it? It is that we are bringing a 24-hour policy economy, and that will give your brother job. Your CVs will not be circulated. Your work. Look, there's something people have to know. Do you know the number of people that sit in the drinking club at 6 a.m.? Do you know the number of people that spend 7 days in prayer camp for jobs? The man is giving you a job. This is the person talking to you. It's giving you a job. And this is the president. He's telling you that Ghana Statistical Service says that 1.7 million people don't have formal and informal jobs. And he's saying that he's building a national apprenticeship program. Did you remember Akosia in your days when you were in class 4? When he thought he was so dumb, she doesn't know anything. Did you know Joshua Wu, the carpenter? He doesn't call you for money. But you remember NS, who you come investor of Ghana or school of journalism with? He called you for 20 Ghana city for feeding. And President Mahama said, let's micro-manage the economy by bringing national apprenticeship program for every youth that doesn't have formal and informal education to get themselves enrolled into it. That is the policy. The president is saying that. Do you know something? Kenyans must know this. We are investing into agro and industrial agriculture. Operation Feed Yourself. Look, when you got here, you got children and people to eat of a 50 Ghana city. You won't go and lie to get more of 1 million because there's micromanagement of the economy. And the man is saying that we are investing in Operation Feed Yourself. We are investing in the Ministry of Agri and agribusiness. So that, I don't know, you are from Ewutu Kenya. The commonest food out there is fruit, isn't it? Do you know the number of food that rose in Ewutu Kenya? That's the name of food and then we 2 and 4. We are saying that we are going to micromanage the system of preservation. So that the mangoes you buy now from US, the mangoes you buy from South Africa, we are producing it here by micromanaging it. The president is telling you that he's building 6 new universities. And these 6 new universities, it will be based on technical and vocational education. I mean, it's not logic. The president is telling you that, look, we have created 6 new regions. And with these 6 new regions, we are building 6 new hospitals. And you know, amazing thing we are looking at? We are looking at e-medicine. And with e-medicine, you don't need an ambulance, you know that. With the internet, you can be diagnosed from Kotibo. With the internet, you can be diagnosed from Bujumbura. Then the medical doctor at Kolebu, who specializes. So the problem is that he's investing in e-medicine by employing the internet system. So the quality assessment of this is the person we have to look at. And so I believe that the people of Tamale are worried today for 8 years of being a state of stagnation. The people of Tamale are worried today of 8 years of being under and poverty. The people of Tamale are being worried so their development and their start. So we are telling you, we are going to limit our Tamale University that have been redesigned Yampala, they have been Dombo, they have been integrated as something. So the government is coming commodity that because of bringing unity to government. My friends are fantastic. I'm a good farmer. But my friends are fantastic because I think about school with fantastic. So we must reinculcate our culture. We must put our culture in together to make sure we reform the economy. And you know one thing? The president of Mahama is saying he's bringing a big push program back to make sure we complete the all completion program. Anybody that investing in consultant economy, how do you get job? Look how they and do cocoa. You know that to go to that university that they are building. I think we will do watching and then go to listen. Even Joshua will go and take 2 thoughts. You understand? And then the person need to run a contract on board. Micromanagement of the economy will happen. So we are investing in consulting economy. Today, we have food and ally. of carving a cement price. You know why? We live in a country where our consumption economy was moving up to 70%. And if you know they sit down with it, President Mahama would always go tonight. You remember to make that up would literally the center in investment of consumption. And that is why micromanagement of the economy goes. And with this one, there will be stabilization of dollar. Because I'm buying tomatoes from my country. I'm buying onion from my country. I am buying mango from my country. The cement is moving from my country. $20. My dollar and your dollar is the same. So when I'm moving from Tamale, that I came from Roba 12%. It was 12%. It was there because I couldn't pay 2,000, and 2,000 was more than 200 Ghana cedi. Because there's no stability of the city. I could come with a flight. There was more airlines to move.
So I'll first take the theme of the program, change to reset Ghana. It is an undeniable fact that where the country has gotten to now, Ghana has been driven into an abyss by this new patriotic party government who are very wretched. They have wrecked the nation. They have thrown our economy into the abyss. So as an ordinary Ghanaian, I wake up in the morning and I cannot even feed myself for 3 times. So now eating has become a formation. 0, 1, 0. I don't eat in the morning, I eat in the afternoon, and I go to bed on an empty stomach. The Bible even says that God in his own wisdom makes us wake up the next day because he's going to provide for us. But President Akufo-Addo and his wife, Dr. Bawumia, have made it a point in their life to make Ghanaians go to bed on an empty stomach. That alone for me is the peak and the height of the economic shambolism that they have supervised. So if you ask me, the economy that has been driven into the abyss, we in the NDC and President Mahama is saying that he has the experience because he has been president before. What we need now is not a hand that is going to try and be an error in our economic management. What we need is not a hand that is scared to take responsibility. They run the economy into the abyss, and all that he could say is that it was only a myth. For me, leadership is taking responsibility. So if Dr. Bawumia is not that leader that can take responsibility, then who do we need? We need somebody who has experience, somebody who can revive the economy. So that is all the message is saying. President Mahama is going to reset the economy that President Akufo-Addo and his vice, his incompetent, super incompetent vice, Dr. Bawumia, have run the country into. So we are changing. What are we changing from? We are changing from the MPP government. We are changing from a leadership that has made nepotism a priority. We are changing from a leadership that will empower his daughter to in a corrupt way, create 40 companies to dupe the nation. We are changing from a leadership that will make his cousin an ambassador at large. We are changing from a leadership who will make his cousin the finance minister, who in turn will create a company that will supervise reckless borrowing, and every time Ghana borrows, he makes a share. That is the kind of leadership we are changing from. So the message is simple. We are changing hands from MPP to the NDC to reset Ghana and put Ghana back on the right track. And now to one of our topmost policies, the National Women Development Bank. The National Women Development Bank is a bank that is going to give loans to women, to empower women at no collateral. So when I say no collateral, it means that with our traditional banks, if you want to take a loan, you go there with a collateral. This is my property. So in case I default, you can take this collateral in place of the loan that I have defaulted. But this policy is saying that we understand the plight of the ordinary women. Ghanaian women do not own enough property. So we talk about the woman who is hawking water right now. If you look at her property is just whatever she's using to hawk. So it is just the baskets and her apron and the dress she's having, that's her property. Must we not empower such a person? So under this policy, we don't care whether you have any property or not. The government, the NDC government thinks about you. So they are saying come for a loan, run your business, enlarging your post, expand, and you pay with little interest. You know that now, due to how Bank of Ghana, under the leadership of Addison, have printed a lot of Ghana cedis for the government to use it anyhow, have really driven these banks into a point where now they are charging interest rate of about 35 to 45%. So this policy is saying that at a very minute interest, so that whatever capital you have, you will not use it to pay interest, and at the end of the day, you end up having nothing. So that is what the National Women Development Bank is saying. And the other aspect of the policy is that it is going to be run by only women. If we look at the petition of Gato singing to President Mahama, he's calling for President Mahama to actually investigate the case and give them back their licenses where they need to be. So we are saying that all the women who are working in these banks, they have experience. That is one. All the women who are working in these banks have now gone home and they have nothing to get up for themselves. So President Mahama, as an experienced man, will call on these experienced women to come and manage the bank. Ghanaian women in the banking sector are more than qualified. They are more than competent to turn around the fortunes of the banking sector. So the bank, the other aspect of the policy is that this bank will be run by women. So women controlling the affairs of women, to empower women to make the economy a better economy. We talk about the 24-hour economy policy. 24-hour economy policy is practically simple. 3 shifts run. You go to work in the morning, you close, and I come in the afternoon, I close, and another comes in the evening. But what the MPP have always argued on is that it is already in existence. You listen to the flag bearer, Dr. Bawunya, say that chop bars are operating 24 hours. So he can go work into any chop bar and buy food and eat in the night. That is his understanding. If the flag bearer who is supposed to be an economist do not understand the 24-hour economy policy, then I am not surprised that as per their strategy, they will say explain. Because if the economist does not understand the economy, then it will be difficult for his followers to understand. So we are saying that in order for a 24-hour economy to be run successfully, government has a role to play. What is the role of the government? 1, give tax waivers. 2, provide a security environment. 3, a transportation network. And 4, make sure that there is enough utility for production. So this is the roadmap of the policy. President Mahama is saying that he is going to give tax waivers to the industries that are going to ascribe to the policy. Why a tax waiver? A tax waiver because we understand that when you employ a lot of people, you are going to pay more. So for instance, I am an industry that had only 10 employees. So now under the 24-hour economy policy, morning, afternoon, evening, I have to employ 30. And I have to pay for 30 people. So how do I get money to start production and pay 30 people? That is where the tax waivers come in. The tax waivers come in so that the amount of your profit you use to pay taxes will come down. And you will have enough money to pay the new workers that you are going to employ. Where does security come in? Security comes in the sense that if I'm supposed to go to work in the night, who is guaranteeing my safety? Exactly. And as a government, your topmost priority is to make sure that your citizens are secure. So President Mahama is saying that under this 24-hour economy policy, he is going to employ a triple of the security services we have now, so that the ratio of one policeman to the citizenry will be cut down. So if I have to go to work in the night, I know that if I go out in the night, I am safe. No armed robber would attack me. That is the kind of environment he is going to create to make the policy successful. And we talk about transportation. Why do we need transportation? We all know that as per our culture and our nature, we sleep at night. So all the truck drivers are asleep. all the loading taxi drivers are asleep. How do I get to work under a 24-hour economy? So President Mahama, as experienced and visionary as he is saying that we will need a transportation system that is going to run like the European countries. We all know if you go to US now, at certain times you get train. At certain times, you know the bus is going to stop at this station at this time. That is what he is going to do. And I say he's experienced because he started experimenting with Ayalolo bus. So you get a bus pass. In the night, all you need to do is tap, you enter, and you move. He also understands that with whatever meager salary you are going to get, you would have to get affordable transportation. So that is what the government is going to provide for you, just that. And the other aspect of it is the utility. Cost of production is so expensive for small scale businesses now that they are running to countries like Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, and Benin. Why? Because they cannot afford the utility tariff that they pay. So President Mahama is saying that under the 24-hour economy policy, he is going to provide a specialized meter for the industries that will ascribe to the policy. So for instance, if you are paying electricity tariff of 300 cedis now, if you ascribe to the policy and you get that special meter, you are going to pay probably a half, which is 150. By so doing, your cost of production has been reduced. You would be in the capacity to employ more people and pay more people, and your profit margin is going to soar. So tying that into today's theme for the program, we are simply going to vote for change from President John Dramani Mahama and Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman to reset Ghana and put the economy of Ghana back on the path of development. We cannot run away from is that whatever economic challenges we are going through, we are also going through the same. So listen to the voice of President John Mahama. Vote for change for the NDC government because the interest of Ghana is more paramount than the interest of the New Patriotic Party. So it is very simple this afternoon. If you ask me, I would say that the message of hope that the NDC is carrying goes beyond party colors. It is about rescuing Ghana. It is about setting the tone for the Ghana to develop once again. It is about providing a country where you will be proud to give birth in. It is about providing a country where you know that your life is secure. So whether NPP, NDC, whichever political divide you belong to, we are saying it is about party colors. It is about the second independence of Ghana. I would want to say thank you to Tamale. The reception has been so welcoming. And then I would want to tell Ghanaians, the ordinary Ghanaian like myself, that there is hope. And that hope is President John Dramani Mahama. And to my fellow women out there, finally we have a voice on the decision-making table. And that voice is Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. So even if you fail to ascribe to the policies of the NDC, just look at that hope of a woman having the opportunity to make decisions. Look at that hope of having your daughter and yourself in that seat in the future and vote for the NDC.
Moving to other parts of the northern region, but not specifically Tamale. And I must say that I am really impressed. I mean, the people are very hospitable and they are very, very nice. They're extremely nice. The reception is very nice. And especially if they see you wearing an NDC t-shirt or holding an NDC paraphernalia, they are extremely nice and, accommodating of you. So it has been excellent so far. I came in yesterday and it's been good so far. And I see how the program is also going. I see people trooping in their numbers. I see young people coming in. I see old people with their sticks walking into the place. And I see some of the dignitaries also coming in. The program is a good one. And I'm already excited to be where it starts.
Right. So I'm very sure that when it comes to Tamale for the first time, you're already loving it and you will be back again. So generally, having listened to the people that you have interacted with so far, having seen the euphoria here at the city park, what message does it send to the people? And what message does it send to you about
reception of the NDC as a political party here in the north?
Okay, having interacted with the few people that I have met, I think the number one major concern I have listened to is about jobs for the young people of this country, because I've interacted with a couple of young men and young women also, and I think the concerns have to do with jobs, and I understand why it is important, because how can you have all the education? And Northern region is one of the regions that produces more educated people. And so we have very educated young people here who are idle and are unable to secure jobs. Not because they are not qualified, but because the jobs are not available. And those who even have these jobs, they are either overworked and underpaid because they are not put in the appropriate jobs that they are trained for. And so you have to settle for something minimal so that you'll be able to feed your family. But with regards to whether they are being given the jobs for which they have been trained for, many people do not have such jobs. And so I think that has been the concern right now, which cuts through. And for the women mostly, it is about how to secure funds to be able to operate a business. I mean, even if the people are not able to get into government jobs, they should be able to mobilize some funds so they can make some trade. But even that, the funds are not there. People are not getting money. The system is very hard. So those are some of the concerns I have from the ground where I've been interacting with young people and then some women also.
That the NDC has for these jobless people.
So we all agree that we are the precipice of collapse as a country. I mean, it is not easy. If you look at all our economic indicators, everything points to the fact that we are failing, we are collapsing. However, to the normal Ghanaian on the ground, it is about what we can buy with our money. It's about the purchasing power. It is not about the economic indicators per se. And so it's especially for the money in MAHAMA, after interacting with the people on the ground, has decided to introduce policies that seek to create jobs for the teeming youth of this country. Because we all know that when the youth of this country are idle, it serves as a security threat for the country. And so it is important for us to find jobs for our people. Now we can talk about the 24-hour economy, which is Excellency John Tamale has explained time and number. He says that the 24-hour economy is an 8-hourly three-shift system, where in 24 hours, we are going to have 3 times of 8 hours. And so you have 8 plus 8 plus 8. So 8 plus 8 makes it 16. And the next 8 makes it 84. Currently, Ghana generally run a system where we work from 8 to 5 and we close. And we have other hours which we do not utilize. And so, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says that when he comes into power, when he's voted into power in 2025, he is going to engineer an economic policy or system that seeks to utilize the entire 24 hours of the day. That is how we'll be able to multiply and create some jobs in some areas and some sectors. And then I have heard people talk about the issue of demand. Ghana is a country that imports fairly almost everything. We import toothpaste, we import salt, we import palm oil. We even shamelessly import palm oil from a country like Malaysia. Malaysia that came to Ghana to come and learn how to make palm oil. Malaysia that took palm seeds from Ghana and went to cultivate in our country. Why should we be importing from other countries? So much, even rice, we are not able to produce to satisfy the entire population. And so this points to the fact that this is the evidence that indeed we have the demand. And if we are to produce 24 hours, we will have the market to sell it to. We will do an import substitution, which means that we'll be importing less. And even if we produce more, we will be exporting some of our products. And so it's actually the money Mahama is saying that let's say in a manufacturing company, where people are manufacturing shoes, or whatever you may call it, if the first batch comes for 8 hours, they can work for 8 hours. And then when they close, there will be a second batch who will work for another 8 hours, and another third batch who will work for another 8 hours. Which means that if the company is employing
10 people, they will end up now having 30 people or approximately around that figure working, which means that we are going to reduce the unemployment rate. And the Excellency Governor Mahama has done it before. In his time, we saw the unemployment rate at 8%. Today, we are having 14%, which is dangerous to our community. If you listen to the news recently, we have heard instances of jihadist attacks on the borders of Burkina Faso and Togo. And we all know that for such insurgencies to happen and succeed in a country, you will need inside collaborators. And these IOUs will end up being those people that will be deceived into joining these groups because of hunger and poverty, and they may end up coming out of security. And so it has become very important that we support the Excellency Governor Mahama to ensure that this 24-hour economy policy comes to fruition. There is another policy which I love so much. That is the 1 million coding, which is Excellency Governor Mahama said. When he voted into power, he is going to train 1 million youth in coding and website development. And His Excellency Governor Mahama, he is visionary. He's not like others who just make promises. If you will look at this, when he was in power, he built a data system in Accra. We have been able to lay about 800 kilometers of fiber optic through the Eastern Corridor. All these were part of this project or this plan to be able to train our youth who are now so interested in technology to be able to compete in the world or globally. And so, Excellency Governor Mahama has many plans for the youth to create jobs for the youth so that everybody who has been trained for a purpose will be able to earn some income. This will also go to help our national image, economic image as a whole. Because the more people are working in it, they'll be able to tax them. The more they're paying taxes, it means that the economy is going to grow, our GDP is going to get better. And so, His Excellency Governor Mahama is appealing to all the youth in the northern region and across Ghana. Let's support him for this dream to
creating more jobs for the youth of this country and also reduce their unemployment situation. Now, as a woman, the flag bearer has also selected a woman as his running mate who will eventually become the vice president when he becomes president. What does it speak to you?
Our running mate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajima. My admiration to her. Whenever I mention her name, my face being with smiles. This is a woman who has proven beyond all doubt that she is capable. She's learned, very educated, and she's an inspiration to all young people, and even to fathers who are raising daughters. If you want your daughter to have a role model, the NDC is giving you an opportunity to break the glass ceiling, to make a woman the first vice president of this country. And so, His Excellency, Madam Professor Jane Opoku Ajima, we have seen the things she did in the education minister, which was education minister. She has overseen the building of e-block. And in her time, the textbook student ratio was high. It is not today when people have become education ministers, they introduce curriculum for 2 years and they are not even able to produce textbooks for the children. And when they decided to bring textbooks for the children, they now printed LGBTQ issues in that textbook, teaching children that they are different genders and in the name of teaching them sexual education, introducing them to weird sexual practices. If you look at the job that Professor Jane Opoku Ajima did in the educational sector, removing some things and the trees and making sure that the shift system that existed there was totally clear. Today, this government has come and introduced that shift system in our secondary school. So, for me, as a woman, as a young professional, as a young politician, I am really inspired by Professor Jane Opoku Ajima. And I do not know if you watched her when she was outdoor, her composure, her speech, the woman is eloquent. The woman, the clarity in her thoughts, you can see that she has a plan. There's no other person who is better to support her. It's a Excellency Governor Mahama to achieve this goal that you want. And you agree with me that when your mother is in the kitchen, the children never go crazy. So I am sure that as our mother, Professor Jane Opoku Ajima, is in the kitchen, we will never get crazy. No.
Yes, she has also been talking about
nta ne lampoi mpambo ma bien yala ni benche nye sa shele nto ya nyompolo nto kana te na bata pate zo kate nyanya campaign ti mani ya lo chichama kapore yale PC munenya okay munenya ta isa inshallah kan chamane nye ala hasan mal city so unko tela yo amane jo kama de ayi abo ma bo aguzanpa libra lanti ne kara titu son sum dan gam katimsa nirto ma ta bukata ni ma ne katina jitin shi shalson lara bun ma da nyala kama da ko tom da ngala kama de alizin kom hebra yuan la disable zahanan banyini ne kama de biyan son teme ka ta biya ga tito ne ashe bu kamna ne ta zante larma da bala ban shadanti din kan wannan karama ayyar yato akan yerba fili yato amma ne anta ka ko wani zuta abenye dilile samnin ya shale don bi din da nu shamnyame kama de barayu Allah nan da mu zahanan ganyin northern region wa police kan ku yanzan ke kayan nan da mu za ban be tudun wana ne ban sir shama be yuane shama don gande yuane ba ma babba mu tsoro kace ka yuli John Dramani ma wankan na kan shelwa ma ni kama de aman ina min pumbe du kace ka badir ka fulfana ka amatu ko ka so makana ka kumta malaya amma ita launa da tumuna ce ban sha kam kan launa tunin amma wawatu do John Dramani ma ka tiyan no zai launa tunin wawatu insha Allah disebu zahanan banyin kama ban gwama iranya beyinya kama MPP ban tumta cuta shale especially the northern region
okay
okay yelma yera larma braza te jambra ba te larma check nam ka braza bulati and check nam ma di shahara kan zan wama the list man shedin da biyar punda nyala 450,000 Ghana cedis and bra pula ma jijim bonbon bunai lala bonbon bunama garji manati lala check karama mami lala tabo dar check ma du kuto ke bankane niti payima inshallah kallamna tin changte MP numsane kapten wula kapti changte kashi la armana ta zan so kamta ko di amfani har na tin yar sashel mo inta lala bin mo ma ta bin yare
apart from the damage check shaban da zan ti yama ina blan te la
bin sha bare banda kana kal zan transportation ta ba ne TNT 300 Ghana cedis kabzanti up to the tibunya bin shaden nan kan ne yan so ka yel sham nyame kam to on koya pam ka pai an kule yan so maka
selman siya mai gratitude bi na ba na da ya gratitude ya ta ba ku ya mai gratitude da asira na wannan adin ya madan hal da da madan da ka ne ma ku da the Bible chapter 5 verse 16 to 18 be rejoicing but gratitude so ale al-Quran Bible zaha His Excellency the next president of the Republic of Ghana President John Dramani Mahama the NDC party Maza Bille Bagalaza the Tamale Look at NDC man MPV la gana ka te do metum gama ni tan ma bra ku karanya maka su kammi yin mo ayon ko e ka sain alanya e ka sain yin mo tra dar la pe ko kala ko onda se la kampala ma ko kama shi ya ka tra dar galan sain ko ta dar kita kita ma dibana non galan sain ka ta ma shi ya عائلة أمريكا العرمون هذا أمريكا العرمون سعي واندونا هذا لقنا سير البناء يتشنج به باي أيضا تعالى هذا أمريكا العلماء سعيد هذا الجماعة العلماء سير هي ما يوب سمو inflation ما يلولا دي تنن كبل يارد دا دن درشم أي NDC ما درنا لا 50% وكذي فوزا وكذي فوزا درنا لا فيها سمو inflation ما كبل هذا 54 مننا kan na la karfiya kishi na yi ni jawo ne inflation sumo ale kala ko NDC su ko be ben tira ne bajet na banda na rayal ya ni su ko be ben tira NDC ra na 80% ne ka ba ne su ko ka ba ko kwasi 50% apo ko 80% apo ka na وأنا أتبع شيء من بكرة قال زعيم أنت إذا أرى عمل أتبع شيء أنت قال زعيم كذا أنت أتبع شيء أنت قال زعيم 30% 3% dan da bisha da kan kuma bin yan labar pahalma ana wasi 50% ma gal cha amuda be gal za'in da fara shira da dinya ga ai boron fale لتجسمه هي اللي تسمع ولا مكان لك تقول بشان أمريكا تندانا كل يا يلا نمتو البريزيدنت ما راجع تفعل الله كم كانت تمام أمريكا كم كنا نقول كنا ترى إن كمان نبغى نقول كم كان تجين فلاش هاوس نزام $1,800,000,000 سلمان $1,000,000 بني نزام فهذا زود يمكن نمدا بان نبزام برام فهذا جهل ين زان شلكو باي أنا نقول اللهم مالك الملك تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير انك على كل شيء قدير ناون بيما دون كزانت كان يني يشام اما انت تبلن ناون غفرا نجن كسوبا نجن كسوبن شاو ناون كان دمبا ننتمتو شاء inde tabna kasal subo sumo Tamale centra ashibtin ma nan la ashibti chang dan la ashibti alle pati office kula saga bareji kan la ashibti bombene ke mbeti chana bangul man nan table kaje bisha bambu and doctor tma medical student be pita na yi kan your fees to be shaka mama you are 32 medical science students I am paying their fees 100%. Chebe tell ya, kachebe second ya, kachebe first. Then free extra classes. What common fan can run? Oh, some man as na tiri nyala paying na 52 mechanized board. Can I tell you NGOs apart from the nyanga. Can the pala, the opposition can the pala. Can astronaut. Someone can Tamale fondo and Rayana and design. Naya to shall not. Naya 2024 and Bonato. Tamale phone can come in the shot. The phone can Tamale. Every single area Tamale. Deep on board has for you for the apart from the NGO, Mamma 52 mechanized balls. And I'm saying it on your TV. What come on, Phantom, go to the assembly and check. That should now be one of the biggest clinics in Tamale. Can you catch our charity? Government shall channel. I'm Baria Banu Shalma, come on and know. I'm Baria and that chance to the and then you have TV, couple of frigidity. I'm not shall channel. Catch our charity down there, Manda finish the Bravo Dahali, none of the shelter and Barrier and now government is 99% complete. Apart from the Yaga, many shelter cannot know the Bombema, Parafu, Tanu the Pala and Associated. So near Yashan, the last is Sergeant Nandama. Then the Travel Master, class and this is the 5th year. I rally did a survey. Average pass mark in Tamale Metro 92.2%. Then the first year, got a jump to 50.9. Second year, got a jump to 62%. Let's look at it. Women are here, but Tamale found them and done it. Come on, Mutala comes to Makane. Then I ran the Tau Shelma. You're 2024 and one not found. Come on, Katamal Santa. لله شكرتم لأزيدنكم.
You are hosting this live from the
Well, first and foremost, I want to show gratitude, and I have told you that showing gratitude is anchored on scripture. Thessalonians 5:15-18, and the Lord says, "Be rejoicing, but give gratitude at all times." Allah says, when He shows you mercy and blesses you, when He shows gratitude, He blesses you the more. So, out of the 18 seats, NDC is winning 14 seats out of the 18. The system of the North, that our started diminishing from 2016. It has nothing to do with any MPP performance. It has, unfortunately, to do with petty, meaningless internal party squabbles. And I can tell you, we have identified the problem. The NDC is more than united. We are poised to unite the people of this country. And that is the But let me conclude on this. Give me to the yellow document. Tamale, government political coalition. In Yamaka, something the number of government one yellow one that. Tamale land laws. And land laws find that the state, Tumban Solano to Yan, and one of them, and now they can do what we call compulsory acquisition. So Tumbanzolani days from the allodial basis. Can use, he returns it to the one that's in the so I think what shall be shall not the Raja of government in that jail to Norip. The Norip can I government in love result in Nanama. One loves the result in Nanama that can now work for the country. But what's a lot of my own the bar. But tell from government. But the city young friends are not my attention to tomato. But that's the Lamania and Yosham. Come just stay back. Hello, what are you young Mr. Carter teaching out of the don't national campaign, national campaign, Mama. Now, Tabayalama, Tamale no politics. Kamsa sa Tamale no politics. Obini yalma mo yara. Contest ma. Mala. Ramanu ko yel shagara. Tulum bapage. NDC, the comes out to the votes hard to suicide. Didn't get to the Tamale. Allah, God what can I say? This one now, Gafara. The Takayati and Musa. And to didn't get it. The parliamentary. How did you get out? Guys, Naum Gafara. Shilly, Tuma. Jesus answer. This okati yara. Yet to put it to Sa. Auga, to put it to Sa. Can conception. I can't take time now, Basangara. That is that every son of the North is very proud of this decision. It may be considered late in the day, but the MDC always shows the way. After over 30 years, this is the first time any of the major political parties is in the issue. And you can tell impact that it is having on the economy of Tamale. And it is not an impact that benefits only NDC members. It's an impact that benefits everybody. And that's why I'm sure that every citizen is proud of this decision to hold the national this government is just a utopia. It is engaged in plain beauty. And sometimes their actions seem to suggest as if they annex power through a they do not have conscience when it comes to looting the state assets. Only a couple of days ago, we saw the protest that was mounted against the sale of the slave hotels. I mean, it is not just those hotels that they are grabbing. They have grabbed even the money that they have borrowed to come and transfer this country. That is how come you find one person talking money in his home, in her home, such that the maid can steal over $1 million and she will not. It is the same they are doing to our land. You go to the Upper West, you are receiving reports how they are grabbing the land left, right, center. You go to Ashanti, they are doing the same. You go to Greater Accra, the same. So the NDC is committed to ensuring that all these lands that are not properly acquired are reversed in the first 100 days of the NDC government. Because those cannot be allowed to be appropriated for personal use. When they are reset, they use on all of us. I mean, look at the Foreign Affairs Ministry, where it is seated today in Accra, was sold to private people under pressure. It took the NDC government under President Bill to reclaim that land. And today, it is our national ministry. It is a Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where you can go there to access service. Can you imagine if the NDC government had not retrieved it? You would have seen beware of drugs in that area. But today, as a citizen, you can walk in there with pride because it is your ministry and it is set up to serve you. And that is why we think that all these lands that are looted ought to be retrieved and used for our public.